everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Drinks with Neo. Welcome to episode 12, baby. Neo Prime 12 in the house, episode 12. Yo, you guys already know. Let's get it started. Let's get it moving. Let's get it going, chat. Woo. Guys, as you guys know, we normally have our guest in here with us right now. She is in the process of going live on Facebook. You guys know her as MikkyJay, and we are just waiting for her to get done her intro, and then we're going to be hitting it up with her, having a good time, enjoying ourselves. I'm going to undeafen, so hopefully when she is ready, we will be able to hear her, and then she'll be going. But guys, as always, episode 12 is going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to want to be here. You're going to want to have fun, and we're going to talk about Facebook gaming. Well, hello. Are we there?
Okay, yes, I'm sitting here like I'm not going to move my mouth and just look normal because I don't know if he's ready.
I was trying to time it perfectly because I was like, oh my God, and I'm not even on the right screen right now, so let's go. But I was trying.
Gosh, I'm not either. Here we go. That's not the right screen. Hold on.
And of course, Discord is doing something stupid where it just blinked everything out on my screen. There, no, we're back.
Oh no.
All right,
okay.
we were back. Oh well, this is technical difficulties at its finest. And guys, as you
it's never good unless you have technical difficulties.
Well, you know, this is an uncut thing, so you already know what's gonna happen. So I love it. So Mickey, I like to start out the podcast the same way every single time. I like to talk about what I'm drinking, and tonight I am drinking a local brew, Chesapeake Cider Company, which is brewed here in Maryland. It is a just a original crisp cider. It is 6% alcohol, 12 ouncer though. I like it.
Oh, okay.
What are we having?
I'm having a Monster Reserve.
Ooh, those are new.
White pineapple. This is thanks to one of my bestest community members. They gifted these to me, and then we're gonna go with a little golden pineapple strain to keep fit the theme.
I like it. Is that like what year is that a reserve?
Oh, 2021.
I'm glad you saw what I was putting down there. She picked it up and she hit it out the park. But as always, I like to hit a cheers. So here's to me, here's to you, and let's have a great show. Oh no, you're not ready.
Yep,
now ready. You ready? Cheers.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Man, we are already starting off perfect. This is the only way I can imagine starting this show off is this way. And so
exactly with the vibes. You got to start with the vibes.
Always with the vibes. There's no other way to do this. So I would like to say I am super excited to be here. I'm super excited to have you here. So you're a mother. You're a wife, yes. You're a Facebook partner, yes. And you're just a whole vibe, like a unique vibe. You are a 100% just a big old vibe. You bring out that good positive energy, even though a lot of people think it's toxic sometimes when you be calling some people yo pussy or something like that, but that should be cracking me up. That should be cracking me up, and it is an absolute vibe. So I absolutely love it. So let's kind of dive right into it. What got you into gaming? Like, what started your gaming? Let's go into history of MikkyJay.
Okay, so I actually loved video games as a kid. I started off with the Nintendo 64 and then was hand-me-down a nice little Game Boy Color for my older brother. And I pretty much got all of his console and handheld hand-me-downs up until I was about 8 or 9 years old. And then I started getting the Nintendo DS and the Game Boy Advanced SP and all that fun stuff. And then I kind of just, it wasn't something that was, how do I say this? Watered. It wasn't a seed that was like watered.
Okay.
I was constantly told like I should be doing other things with my time, like I should be going outside to play instead of playing these games. I should look for other forms of entertainment, blah, blah, blah. So I grew up, I did things I really wasn't supposed to. But it wasn't until I met my husband that I started getting back into gaming in my adult years.
Okay.
And how it started off was a game called We Happy Few. I saw this on, I think it was Kickstarter. I fell in love with this storyline. The graphics are visually stunning. It was absolutely incredible. And so
What type of game is it?
It's like a role playing. I'm not good with genres. I'm probably the most casual, uneducated gamer there is. I'm not even gonna front, but it's like this role playing game. You're Arthur, who finds out like he's been drugged his entire life to forget this traumatic thing his country went through, and now everybody's on drugs, and you've got to try to get yourself off drugs and get out of this town.
What? So
that's like the best way I can explain it.
This is like a psychedelic experience, apparently, playing this game.
It is, and you can trip shrooms and have like psychedelic things jumping out at you. It is.
Oh my God.
It is. If you want a funny ass interactive game to play as an adult, play that game, because
what's the name
like
of this game?
Stress-free. It's called We Happy Few.
We Happy Few.
You can get it on Steam.
I'm gonna actually.
So good.
I have my notepad in front of me. I'm actually about to just type that out because I've never heard of it. We Happy.
We're Happy Few. I've played this on my stream. I play it very rarely because you really have to get into the story, and it's so hard to just do one stream and then get back to the regular schedule of what I usually stream.
Right.
Which is why I created a variety page, but then with how Facebook is set up, looking at the wrong camera.
You're perfectly fine. What thing is, I'm getting one view. Everybody else is getting a different view from your. I love it. We're getting 2 views of Mickey now.
Oh yeah.
You're getting 2 views of Mickey.
Oh well, actually, they can't see my regular view because I turned it off, so they just get this view. So I'm just looking at this camera over here for no fucking reason.
So they're getting side face Mickey, which normally we're used to seeing like that intensity coming straight on. They're getting the side view now.
Yeah, they get the view of the office in its entirety. In my case of V8 Energy here,
that's necessary.
Quick grab. But yeah, so then I started playing that, and then he saw how much I enjoyed it, and he gamed.
Okay.
And I always told him, like, you know, if you found a game that you thought I would enjoy, I would like to play it with you. And so we got into Original Sin. Divinity Original Sin 2 or 3, I don't remember. I fucking loved that game. I loved it so much that I did not want my husband telling me what to do in this game, so I created my own separate game to play it however I wanted, because he's very like, go, 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 do, quest, and I'm like, I want to stay, I want to get the story, I want to experience the game, and not just
2 complete opposite people.
Yes, in our play styles. And so we started playing that. And then I started getting into Call of Duty Mobile on my phone because it was easier to play on my phone than be tied to a computer during the day.
Makes sense.
And so that progressed. And he's like, well, maybe you should start to play regular Call of Duty. And so I played with him and his friends, really enjoyed it. They pretty much taught me like the foundations of of everything I know now in regards to like rotations, comms, how to build guns, blah blah blah. And then from there, little backstory is before all of these video games. Yeah, I used to do art.
Okay.
I used to paint and do all sorts of different things with paint. I would make my paints go from like hard bodies to soft bodies to liquids. And I would stream that actually on Facebook, but this was back before Facebook gaming.
Okay.
This was back like in 2017. And he always told me, like, don't stream on Facebook. You should go to Twitch because you have the ability to make money. They can tip you bits. They can sub to you while you're doing your art. And that was never something that kind of like pulled me to do that. I was more like, I'll stay on Facebook. It's a platform that I know. It's a platform that I love. And so I'll stay here. And so fast forward, I stopped doing my art. I started getting back into video games. And he brought it up again. He's like, maybe you should stream. And so this is when I researched for 6 months before I decided I wanted to stream on Facebook gaming. And what I came up with consistently is, and I'm not knocking Twitch. Twitch works for some people, and that's perfectly fine. It's the platform they know, it's the platform they love. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But I had different goals. I didn't necessarily want to start streaming for money. I didn't want to do this to make a career out of it. I mainly just wanted to do this so that when my husband and his friends had their sixth guy and I wasn't on their team anymore, I wouldn't be playing alone. And so that's where it all started. And so the goal was to obviously like create a community. And I found, long story short, the fastest way to do that was through Facebook because they're able to distribute your content on a broader scale than Twitch is.
Absolutely.
And so that's what started me getting back into gaming and getting onto this platform.
You answered like 5 of my questions right off the bat. Now I gotta just like skip down. But no, let's take it back a little bit. I know one of my questions that someone's gonna ask me, I typically don't answer. I save like answering chat questions till the end. One of the questions someone's gonna ask me, what was the first COD you played? Do you remember playing? Because that's the number one question I get was from somebody always. What's the first COD you played?
Okay, so I actually like, before I met my husband, like obviously all of my boyfriends would play COD. Mm-hmm. And there was this specific instance that I remember because it low-key became so traumatic. My boyfriend sent me over to his best friend's house, which I loved this dude. Not like in a romantic way. We were really close, even though he was my boyfriend's best friend. So he's like, let's play some COD Zombies. And so I'm like, okay, I'm down. So I'm playing these zombies with my friend. 6 fucking hours. I played this shit for 6 hours and didn't realize, and finally looked at my phone and I was like, where the fuck is my boyfriend? And this dude just looks at me so broken. And I don't know if it's because him and I had such a blast playing zombies or what, but he's like, I don't want to tell you this. And I was like, no. He's like, yeah.
He broke up.
He's out sleeping with someone else right now.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, well, thanks for telling me, bro. But it's the zombies where I don't know what this map is. This is the Call of Duty that I've played. You've got 2 sets of stairs and everything is like decked out in like Germany stuff. You got 2 sets of stairs and you got to defend the stairs up top and down below. And you got to go through the center. I don't know what it's called. I actually have no idea. This was back in like 2012, 2013. So whatever COD was out at that time, I'm assuming.
You got me. But Black Ops. Someone said Black Ops. Sounds like.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
National Zombies is Black Ops.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. You know your Call of Duty.
My COD expertise are in here. I don't know it. Someone in chat said it. Personally, I never started with COD. I was like a Halo, growing up on Halo and Destiny and stuff like that. So my first COD experience was like I did play COD, but it wasn't like I had to go play COD. It's for me. It was the Halo. I got to go play Halo. I got to go play. Destiny and all that stuff. So for me, that was the main thing. So realistically, me getting back into COD was Warzone. I played Warzone for a little bit, and then I was like, this isn't as fun as Fortnite. So I played Fortnite for 2 years, and now I'm off on Fortnite. I'm playing COD, and I'm back on COD and loving it. Loving every hated second of it because it's so much fun. So much fun. It's a great vibe. It truly is, even though there's so much wrong with it. It's such a great vibe with that game. I still love it.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like the game only gets better if you have good people with you. You know, of course, the game can get competitive, and with the amount of people that cheat at the game, it makes it somewhat unenjoyable. But once you kind of grasp the fact, because I used to get really upset about it, about how many people cheat. And I would like talk to my husband about it. He's like, baby, you have to understand that there are hackers in every single game. It doesn't matter what kind of game it is. Among Us, people have speed hacks. Freaking Splitgate, people have speed hacks. Like, people hack in everything. He goes, even in New World, people are cheating at the game and making their characters more powerful than they actually are. He goes, that's just what happens in the gaming world. He goes, and the faster you accept this and just accept that you will never be able to get away from them, the faster you'll be just happier playing your game. And so it took me a long time to accept that, but now it's just like report and move on. Like, it is what it is.
100%. And you can't get angry. You can get angry, but it's what kind of vibe are you bringing if you're getting angry at that hacker? Yeah, that person's hacking. Right. Let's move on. Let's get out of that headspace. Let's move on to the next game, because once it brings you down, it brings everybody else down you're playing with and stuff like that. And it changes the mentality of that whole stream, that whole game, that whole experience for everybody. And we're not about that life at all.
Yeah, no.
Especially since I have to play with randoms a lot. So my randos are just so much fun in Rebirth. Let me tell you that. It's not.
So let me ask you, because you play with randos, do you like troll them a lot?
I only troll them once they say something stupid. So if they say like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? You can suck this dick." Oh, that's when it fucking starts the trolling. And it's like, "Oh yeah, you want me to suck this dick? Okay, present it, buddy." Type of thing, you know? Or I just go in on them, or if they say something really like either racist or something like that, that's when I'll troll them a little bit. And if it gets too out of hand, I'll back out of the game. But it's not too often that I do. Because I try to promote not the toxicity, but if you get toxic, you gotta just show it right back. You can't show you can't show weakness in the COD universe, because I mean, honestly, you being a female, you have it 1,000 times worse than I do, to be honest with you. Normally people don't even talk to you. Luckily, I have this nice manly voice that men like to listen to for some reason. I'd rather listen to your voice while I'm playing.
It's soothing.
I'd rather listen to your voice while I'm playing. So thank you. But that's one of the things I'd love to hear is how did you and the ladies come up with Ladies Night? I want to talk about this. This is really this was my first interaction with MikkyJay. Was listening to Shelby's stream, and Shelby, who are these people? Who are these ladies you playing with? Oh, I'm playing with MikkyJay, J9, and Gunner. I was like, oh, who are these people? And all of a sudden, all I see in the corner of the building, oh, we got Papa Squad guys. We got Clam Slam or the butt cheek thingy, whatever y'all do, whatever it's called.
Yeah, slap asses. We slap asses.
You slap asses, yes. And that is like the number one thing that we haven't won any games. Have we slapped asses yet? No, we haven't. All right, guys, let's do it. Like the whole vibe that whole time. Like it's something. Sunday, like Ladies Night is something to look forward to on the calendar every single day of the week.
Oh yeah.
Is Ladies Night. So how did that come about? How did you ladies come up with that?
Okay, so Shelby and I hit it off like last December, around this time last year. We hit it off, and we would get games occasionally, but like not very consistently until one other streamer kind of connected. I don't want to mention their name because they're no longer a part of it, and I don't want there to be like any animosity. I'm totally cool with this person. They're an awesome individual, lovely human being, but it just didn't mesh out very well. So I
understand.
She asked us to come play, and we did, and it started every Sunday. And then like conflicts of schedules and stuff, Shelby and I decided to go on our own. It came up to the point where I was starting to move from Washington, D.C. to California. And so I kind of put it out there, like, I'm not going to be able to do streams as consistently. And at this point, J9 saw that I guess me and Shelby had an open slot. And so she tagged me, Shelby, and it was someone else that they never participated in it. So I don't remember who it is, but she's like, I would love to have a ladies' night with these 3 ladies. And she hopped in on our Sunday, and the vibes were just fucking phenomenal. Like, we were laughing, we were cracking up. And I found that once we had like our full squad, like Gunner joined shortly after Jay joined, like my weeks would start out so fucking well because my Sunday started off so well. The whole thing with slapping asses started because one night in particular, we were in the blender, Neo. It's like we would land, we'd get in between 2 teams. We'd reset, we'd get in between 2 teams. Like, it was that all night. And finally we were like, let's go to Verdansk and let's come back. And so we did. And this is the beginning of our first rebirth game back. And we started praying to the rebirth gods. And so then I was like, we should get in a circle and go in a circle and just like dance to be like a little, whole seance. And so that's where Slapping Asses was born, because at that point, I think Gunner just started slapping Shelby's ass as a joke. And then we all started doing it. And then we started doing that every single game and we would get a dub. So that's how Slapping Asses was born. And that's how Ladies Night was born effectively, because Jay decided to network on Twitter instead of going to DM. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna shoot my shot in public, and if it happens, great. And if it don't,
that's awesome.
So it was awesome to kind of see that, because at that point, like, Jay was a lot bigger than me in numbers, and I was just surprised, that she would even want to play with me. And still, even some days, I'm surprised she wants to play with my ass.
Trust me, when you ladies let me jump in there, and like, it's like Shelby's like, oh, we're gonna play with Mickey. Do you want to play? Yeah. I'm like, let me grab my controller, let me put my sweatband on, make sure I got my hands ready and warmed up. I don't want to fuck up. These ladies are better than me. I gotta look good. You know what I mean? I want them to invite me back. Let me just have a good time. But let me
I'll play with you any day, Neo. I'll play with you any day.
Let me not suck. Please don't let me suck.
Oh my god!
I think it was Friday. I was playing with Phoenix and Shelby. Those girls carried me both to a dub. That day was terrible for me. I'm glad I started drinking at 2 on Friday, because they carried me to, Shelby had like 8 kills. Phoenix had 8 kills one game. I had 1. Shelby had 7. I had 1. I was like, thanks ladies for carrying me. Y'all are amazing.
Right? Oh my gosh. I get carried so often. And I'm just like, you guys, thanks for that hard carry. Your girl is a little late today to the party.
I promise I'm better on, just not on the days that ended in Y. I promise. Today was not my day.
Oh my gosh. But it was not my day. And that's it every day.
Yeah. So it was like that. I was like, I hope they're not judging me. I think I played with Jay once, and when that time too, it was you, Jay, and Shelby once, and I was like, okay, now I'm playing with the big dogs. Let me try to keep up, type of thing. I'm like, it's funny how that mentality in your head, you're like with Jay, and I used to do it with Shelby, because when Shelby started, she's like, I suck. I'm like, you don't suck. I'm terrible at this game. I'm just trying to keep up with you. You guys are badasses. I just want to freaking stay alive and be cool like y'all. So, and all honesty, with you guys doing ladies' night, I've actually learned a lot from you guys. So, playing the game, also, you know, big shout out to Shelby, because watching her play the game day in and day out, I've learned more and more with the people that she plays with, where you guys play. And ladies' night, it's encouraging to see that 4 random ladies can get together and just make content that's positive. Even some people look on the outside. I'm telling you right now, people look on the outside of that and they tune in. They're probably tuning in like, what the fuck is this shit? What are they doing? And for me, I'm sitting there, I'm rolling. It's almost bedtime for me. I'm rolling in my bed, staying up past my bedtime, watching y'all. So I get up at 4:30. I get up at 4:30 every day, and watching you guys is just, it is just amazing seeing you guys come together. And it's like those nights, like, hey, I'll text Shelby. I'm like, are you guys having ladies' night? I think so. Hello, I need to know if you're doing it or not. Okay. Come on now.
It's just assumed. It's funny because like in the beginning, like when we first formed ladies' night, we would text each other like every Saturday, every Sunday and be like, are we having ladies' night? Do we have everybody? Blah, blah, blah. And like now we're not checking in unless it's like, oh, I can't come on Sunday. It's assumed ladies' night is for sure going to happen.
Yeah.
Is for sure going to happen. But there's something that you brought up I wanted to touch on real quick about like feeling like you have to be good at the game, you know what I mean, or perform in the game in order to make content. And I found that some of my best content comes from when I'm playing like shit, because I'm rolling with it. I'm like making jokes, we're making funny things happen, or like we're just fucking around in the game in general, because it's like shit game anyway, might as well just do whatever we want, you know, try the loadouts that we don't usually try, or try to do something funny. I don't know. So yeah, I feel like you don't have to be good at the game as long as you have not the personality, I guess, but the want to turn a shitty thing into something positive. If that makes sense.
Personality. In the end.
Yeah.
In the end, it's personality. If you're going to have the personality. And yeah, no, it makes 100%. It's sometimes you want your gameplay to match, you know, the personality.
Right.
But sometimes your off days. Sometimes your off days of gaming is some of your best days of content. So
exactly,
it's just how you all look at it. A glass half full type of guy, you know, type of thing.
Mm-hmm. So of course, I feel like you almost have to be in this industry of content creation, I suppose. Now,
you said the word. This is your word. You just said like 10 minutes ago, if you remember, the word career.
Okay.
She's like, she was like, what the fuck did I say?
Yeah, at first I was like, oh shit.
God damn it, I'm already in trouble. But so you said the word career. So was a career in content creation something you've always wanted to do? Like in your wildest dreams, is this something that you would be doing if you told yourself 10 years ago, Mickey, this is what I'm going to be doing in 10 years?
I would have never have guessed this, honestly. And even still, I don't really consider this a career, if that even makes sense. Like it's hard to kind of lay this out in my head, because I've never really seen anything that I do as a career, even like regular like 9 to 5s. Never really saw it that way. Even when I was like selling my art, I didn't even see that as a career path. But that's just me. I think I have come to this point where it's like I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now. And I might not even be doing this by next year. I might find something else that gives me a sense of purpose and fulfillment and enjoyment. And it's something that I can relieve my stress in, and it's conducive for me. Okay. So I don't want to consider this like a career. And I don't think I ever would have thought that I would be here, but I'm enjoying this moment and where I am in this season of my life for however long I'll be here.
I like how you put that. So,
well, thank you.
That is 100%. So bouncing off of that, I mean,
okay,
going into it, you mentioned it. Your husband told you, let's go on Twitch to do your art and stuff like that. And Facebook was Facebook was your first gaming platform, like your first streaming platform. That was your first choice and the one you were most comfortable with and things like that. I really want to get into the nitty gritty, a little bit of the, let's get down to business here with some Facebook talk and things like that.
All right, I can do that for you.
You have done, I've heard you say this, I've seen it. You've done multiple tests with your own gaming page and everything like that to gain knowledge about this platform. You don't consider yourself all knowing, but you do have a lot of knowledge because you've gone through the steps, you've gone through the process. And I want people to understand that. I want to give a disclaimer. I'm not saying that she knows everything, and she's not saying that right now, but I do want to give the disclaimer is she has taken the steps to know how to run a gaming page. She's taken the knowledge to how to hit algo. She's taking the knowledge to do this and that. And we're going to touch a little bit base about that. So this is a disclaimer to everybody that she does have the knowledge, but you guys need to understand that she doesn't know everything. She's still learning every single day, because if you're not learning something new every single day about yourself, you're not growing. You want to continue to grow. But let's get back to it. I want to know, start from the basics. How do you get started with Facebook gaming? Like, why? What? Let's do the how, because then I'll get into the why. Okay. Like, how do you get started with Facebook gaming? How do you get started? What is in the why? Why is some of the good benefits of getting started with Facebook gaming? So does that question make sense?
So yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so the reason why I ended up choosing Facebook, one is because when I boiled down the distribution, how you could grow, it made more sense on Facebook for me than it did Twitch. From what I gather from Twitch, the way that you're discovered is people are looking for the game, and the people with all the top views are on the top, and people got to scroll to get to the bottom. So it's a climb unless you have a community elsewhere that you can bring. So like if you're making content on like Twitter or TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, what have you, you're supposed to feed them and funnel them all to your Twitch, right? That's effectively how you grow on Twitch, is through other platforms and not necessarily their platform alone. But with Facebook, I knew from the beginning I did not want to be like I did not want this to be full time. I did not want this to be like something where I was constantly having to work on something, whether it be VODs or short form content, pictures, whatever. I just wanted to live my regular life, do this at night, and then leave it afterwards. And so effectively that came to Facebook. Facebook has like 1 billion monthly users on its platform. So it pushes you in different directions, and you can just be a streamer and grow on one platform without having to create content for multiple different ones. So that's why I chose Facebook, because I felt like it was one uphill battle for me that I didn't want, was full-time content creation. And I feel like I avoid that with Facebook. It lets me live my life the way I want. Secondly, I felt like the potential on Facebook was there. And what I mean by that is when I was doing my research, like the monetization aspect of it, I didn't like how Twitch treated their partners, and I didn't like how, there's a lot of, not controversy, but it is like Twitch it doesn't seem like Twitch values its content creators as much as they should. And it's reflected in like ad revenue, the shit that they take from their creators. I don't agree with that. But Facebook, on the other hand, it was rolling out at this time when I was researching a bunch of different programs because of COVID and all this other stuff. So I saw potential in the fact that Facebook's trying to do this with their creators. It shows that they value them, that they care about them, and that they're just going to try to make this a space for creators and not necessarily for themselves, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was kind of like my deciding factors with Facebook, and what I was like, okay, I want to do this. Now how I started was a little bit different than most. Like I said, I researched this for 6 months, deciding which one I wanted to do. But when I finally decided I wanted to do Facebook gaming, I created my page and I sat on it for months.
Okay.
Like, I didn't do anything with it. I created it, I sat on it for months. And when we were getting the final pieces for all of my streaming equipment, I decided I was going to start filling it out. The profile picture, I had already picked my name, and what have you. I scheduled my first stream to be a few days after I got my final thing, because I was running tests and everything. The test went by so smoothly, but let me tell you, that first stream, I want you to imagine a giant wooden ship.
Yep.
And I am on this ship. I don't have one here, with a little teacup. And this ship is just on fire. And I've got this little teacup just putting water on it. Like, it's fine. It's okay. One moment. It was a dumpster fire. But I look back on that stream and I'm just like, wow, I've grown so much, because now if that were to happen to me, I know exactly what to do and how to fix it. And it would be fixed within a matter of minutes. Whereas like in that stream, it took me like 3 hours
to figure out what was going on. I'm just remembering back to my first computer stream. I started off on Twitch just because of on my I went to Xbox. I streamed right from my Xbox. But when I got my first computer and I streamed on that thing, oh man, that alert boxes. What the fuck's an alert box? What the fuck? What is a scene? What is this? What is that? How do I switch? What button am I supposed to hit? Yeah, that stuff.
The whole teaching yourself. I don't think like people who kind of don't really understand what I do, it's hard to explain to them like how much I've taught myself in regards to streaming in general. So yeah, no, that learning curve in the beginning to teach yourself all of these different programs and how to make everything synchronize so perfectly is difficult at times.
Yeah. No,
technology's a fickle bitch.
It is.
Let's like, be honest.
Like I'm so proud. Like I'm like so proud of this show. Like if I tried to do something like this 2 years ago when I first started, there has been no way in hell like I wouldn't have been able to put this scene up, get Discord in here to put that up, do this little drinks with Neo, little background stuff, do little switching of this and that. Like to myself, like every time this thing works out and it works out well, I like, you did it, buddy. Good job. You fucking did it, man. Right. You did it.
Yeah.
Another one.
Oh, that's how I feel about solving like my technical difficulties. Like I feel so, because when I first started, I would have a technical difficulty and I literally would be like, David, because he's an IT. That's actually what he does for a living, is build computers and software for our military. So yeah, he would always come in and help me. And now I'm to this point where he's like, I don't need your help. I got my own computer. I'll fix it my damn self. Like, so it's funny to see like how far I've come with that. Cause like you said, like you would have told me 2 years I would know how to do this. I would have been like, fuck you. No, I don't. Like,
yeah, correct. Yeah, no, I used to have an IT guy too. I used to like have on speed dial a friend of mine and be like, bro, can you VPN into my computer? I'm having an issue. Thanks. Yeah, I got you, bro. He would VPN and I would watch him do what he's doing. I was like, how'd you do that? I was like, I just know. So, you know, I tell you what, YouTube is a godsend. YouTube is literally
for sure.
a godsend. But I'll tell you what, though, finding the right problem on YouTube and finding the person that has the right video is not easy. It's like searching, like searching Google. Like, I'm having this issue. It's like I'm having this issue. Well, there's like 15 different people that have the same issue. Which one's right? Type of thing. But no, I'm telling you now, if I known what I know now, I wouldn't have spent half the money I've spent. Some of the stuff I bought.
Oh, so true.
Half the stuff I bought.
So true. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I find like it's all just a pattern of like figuring out what you think is the best way and discovering there's a better way, and just, okay, like I have this is my Canon. This is actually the first camera that I used for a stream. This used to be my intermission camera. It's not the best quality, but I thought it was. I was like, I love this. Now you look at my Sony and you're like, oh my gosh, 4Ks never look so good on you. So it's like, okay, I know I had this camera and this is my favorite camera ever and I love it so much, but like there's a better way to do this.
Yes.
So yeah, I completely agree.
I'll tell you this, technology, spend a little bit more than you should because it's worth it. Because mostly technology has something better, and it always is better. But always, that's one thing my dad told me.
It's always changing.
It's always changing. But my dad told me, if you're gonna buy something technology-wise, always try to buy the best that you can, even though it's changing. But because you want the best at that time. So I've learned that lesson the hard way. I've gone through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, giving away 2 webcams. Yeah. So I'm like 5 webcams, just going through, trying to get better and better quality. Yeah, let's not talk about it. I'm an impulse buyer. I go, hey, I need something. I'm gonna buy it right away. Oh, you need something too? Hey, gosh, let me buy that for you too. It's on its way. Trust me, people know. Shit just shows up at people's houses just because they said they needed something.
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the. So you used to give me subs in Shelby's stream, and I would always like joke to Shelby. I'm like, he doesn't want me being an independent woman, like F Neo, like it's all jokes. And then she's like, you don't understand how much of a giving person he is. And I was like, oh no, I can see it. Like, I'm obviously joking. She goes, no, he just gave me my Go XLR and the mic. And I'm like, oh yeah. Well, my goodness. Like, that's such a good friend.
I have a matching Go XLR.
You're such a good friend. So I was like, I love that because I'm the same way. Like, if I have it and someone needs it, it's theirs.
Absolutely.
So I love that about you, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's gonna make me blush, guys. You can't see it because the background's red. Hopefully.
Oh my gosh.
So we're talking about Facebook gaming, how you basically started out.
Yes.
You talked a little bit about the differences. Can we dive deeply into the difference between Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook gaming? Because I don't know enough about YouTube, to be honest with you. I don't know how much you know about that.
I don't either.
I'm springing this one on you. I know there's an algo with YouTube. I know a lot about Twitch. You've done more research on Twitch apparently, because I don't know anything about their partner program. You are a Facebook partner, so you kind of know the program with Facebook, and you understand all that stuff. Can we dive into a little bit of that difference between let's do Twitch and let's do Facebook, and what are the differences? You don't have to say one's better than the other. I know you're partial to one, which is perfectly fine, but I just want to dive into the differences, and so people understand what they're getting with Facebook gaming. That's kind of what I want to do. Is I want to give what we're opening you up to Facebook gaming.
A synopsis, right?
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so
word. I wish I could spell synopsis because I can't, but I would have typed it out.
SYNOPSIS, I think. Anyways, but yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. So when I was doing my research, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's Facebook gaming versus Twitch." But I discovered like that's not even really the case. It would more so be Facebook versus YouTube, Facebook gaming versus YouTube gaming. And the reason why is not what you initially think. People think like because Twitch is mainly gaming content that, Facebook gaming is its direct competitor, whereas YouTube is not just a platform for streaming. It's long form, short form content. They have movies on there now, which I didn't know, but it's this whole other world over in YouTube land. And I don't fully understand a lot about YouTube land. Like, I've not studied their algorithm. I don't know how it works, but if I had to imagine, it would work similarly to Facebook's. But the monetization, I kind of covered a little bit in Twitch. And what I discovered with Twitch partners is that they can kind of create their own contracts, which I found that very interesting. Like they can say how much of a percentage they're willing to relinquish to Twitch for their subs or whatever, or how much of their ad revenue they're able to relinquish to Twitch. And they can kind of name that price as long as they sit pretty within the Twitch numbers, meaning like view time, revenue.
Okay.
So I found that interesting, but that wasn't something that I felt like was easily obtainable, if that makes sense, because of how Twitch's distribution, I guess is what you would say, what you would call it, is at right now, where the top people are at the top of the game and the people who are just starting out are at the bottom.
Correct.
YouTube, on the other hand, their monetization policies are rough. I couldn't imagine. I think it's like 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 hours of watch time within, it's like 30 or 60 days or something like that. And I was like, that is asinine to think of. Like, you would almost have to sit down and produce content on this page like every single day if you wanted to get anywhere. You know, it's not something where I felt like you could just simply stream and grow that way on YouTube. I felt like I would also have to make videos to kind of pull people in on the most well-known side of YouTube. And sorry. Thanks, guys.
Don't worry. I have Whirly over here making fun of me, so don't worry.
Oh my gosh. And so yeah, bring them over from like the more well-known side of YouTube and kind of introduce them to YouTube gaming is what I was thinking at that time would be the best way to start on YouTube, and that wasn't what I wanted. And so Facebook again, I've already explained kind of like the why, the distribution. So Facebook has, obviously it has an algorithm. It's just simply looking for patterns. And that's like that's so fucking big, I know, but it's simply looking for patterns and consistency, and it's collecting data all the time and you don't even realize it. Also why Facebook has gotten in as much trouble as it has in the past. But this data can really help you, and especially when you first start streaming on your Facebook gaming page, it can really propel you forward, all of this data that they're collecting, because they're going to push you to the appropriate people, if that makes sense, based off of these patterns you create. So yeah, that's why, you know, the difference is, for me, it boiled down to Facebook always. But again, somebody else might be like, you know, it's a grind on YouTube, but there's also people who make $14 million off of AdSense in YouTube. So it's worth it, you know? So it's really just based off of what you want, what you're into. You've got to ask yourself really, like, what goals do I have with this? Where do I want this to be for me to be happy and feel successful and fulfilled? And so for me, that was my community. So it was a no-brainer to go where I grow the fastest. For other people, it might be money, which is fine. And for other people, it might simply be because they're in love with video games. They're in love with the magic of it, playing a new game, the excitement, exploring new worlds. So yeah, just determine like whatever your reason is, and then there's a platform for it. Find comfort in that. There's a platform for it.
Well, yes, absolutely. With Facebook, and you're talking about monetization. Oh my God, now I can't speak. The money part, okay?
Monetization, yeah.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna get made fun of for that word. So, just a long story short, how do you say the word WOLF?
WOLF, wolf?
Yeah, I say woof.
Woof.
Woof. Like
Woof.
I say WOOF. Woof.
Woof?
Yeah.
There's really no difference except the spelling.
Yeah,
like wood.
But what does a woof do? A woof woof, it woofs. Now it's gonna get on YouTube now. So walk. This is what they're spamming in my chat right now is woof. So
Woof.
yeah, that's
Woof.
so she. They just said she hears it now. The woof. Yeah. See.
Woof.
Yeah. I'm
Wolf
not.
and
I am
wolf.
not asking Siri to say woof. Trust me. Okay. It'll bark back at me.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Will it? Oh,
It might.
I didn't know that.
It might. Hold, I might pick it up on my mic. Hold on. Hey Google, spell woof.
Spell it.
I spelled it. Ha! It got it right. I did good. Never mind. We're good. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Stop making fun of me, guys. It jerks. No. So
Let me tell you, if your chat doesn't roast you at least once a day, are they even your chat
oh no, they roast me like
on camera?
it doesn't matter. They roast me every minute, so it's all good. It's like
Oh my gosh.
like every other thing is a freaking roast, so it doesn't matter. That's what they do. It's mostly these ladies. They love to hate me over here, but so the monetization. Oh my god, the money side now because I can't say the word. Facebook's doing some amazing things for this last year, I would say.
Yeah.
These programs, these double. I think they're doing what, double stars and sub bonuses.
Yes.
You want to? So
yes. So that is a part of. I don't know if you remember or if people saw this, but back a while ago, Zuckerberg released on his Facebook, which obviously became articles, that they intend to invest. I can't remember if it was 10 million or 10 billion into its creators. It's 10, a lot of zeros.
Yeah. More zeros than my bank account has.
Right. And so that's part of that initiative. And honestly, I think that is truly amazing. And again, it kind of, it reiterates what I thought Facebook would do, and that's show its creators that it cares about them. It's going to invest into them. It's going to listen to their concerns and help them as much as it can, if that makes sense. But no, yeah, so that's those programs, the incentives, I guess is what I should call them. That's a part of that whole initiative to help its creators be propelled forward.
Yeah, it's amazing, and what a lot of people hate Mark Zuckerberg for some of the things that he does, but that's one of the positive things he's doing. He's throwing money into the programs, and throwing money at the Facebook gaming content for the creators to try to continue. Because I think you guys get paid out a full sub now if it's done on PC, which that's been guaranteed, that he guaranteed that from what, 2023.
Oh yeah, okay. So what that is, yes, it's 2023. But everybody has always said like, oh well, Facebook does actually take a cut, and it's not necessarily Facebook. So this is the problem, and then I'm going to tell you their solution, and I think it's incredible. So back a few months ago, it would be you could sub on a PC or you could sub on mobile. If you subbed on a PC, the creator got the full $5 because it's not being processed by anyone but Facebook.
Correct.
So Facebook would eat those surcharges for the creator, process the $5, give it to them. But if you did it on mobile, 9 times out of 10, you were going to be doing it with Apple or Google Pay, and they charge upwards of like 20 to 30% to process that charge for you guys. So Facebook would take out that 20 to 30% and give the rest to the creators, not taking any for themselves. So that was the issue. The issue was that Apple and Google were taking money from the creators, and Facebook said, enough of this. We're going to create something now that people can click on their phones and change their sub to go through this link, so they're paying through this link, or 2, new subs can click on this link and all of it still goes to the creator. Apple and Google have nothing to do with the process anymore, even on mobile. And so I was like, yo, that is truly incredible, because they listened to the content creators that were like, yo, that's bogus. I mean, I don't care. I understand why it happens, but a lot of people were like, I don't get it, So yeah, they listened and they solved that issue.
You're telling me if you can't dip your hand in the honey pot, They're gonna dip it in the honey pot. Trust me. That is amazing. So because I mean with Twitch, with Twitch they do the same thing. Like when you're on mobile, it's $1 more. It's $1 more to sub on mobile, and bits are more expensive. aka stars on Facebook, but bits are more expensive. Things like that. And I noticed they dropped a star link now that you can buy stars on your mobile. That's cheaper too. Which is amazing. I wish they had that back when I was doing that stuff. But that the innovation that coming. So Facebook is still young, very young compared to Twitch or compared to YouTube. And there's but they've had a lot of growing pains. A lot of growing pains. A lot of this, a lot of that. I do want to talk about some of the ugly side of Facebook. To me, the ugly side is DCMA. Yes, there's DCMA on Twitch, but I get away with a lot more on Twitch with the DCMA because it's their bot that's monitoring the songs can't pick up the slow or fast or whatever of it. Also, I want to talk about DCMA. I want to also talk about today some of the growing pains they've had with their commenting. So being a excessive commenter, commenting on someone's post or in someone's stream and being you can't comment for this long or things like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want to talk about those sides and how do you handle that as a creator and for people that are going to complain and things like that? And because that's a negative thing. Looking at me, like for me, I play Fortnite on Twitch. I play Fortnite on Facebook, excuse me. And I did the stupid little dance and emote dance and it had the song on it and it was played for 10 seconds. And I got a message later saying this song, we got muted. This little portion got muted for this 10 seconds. I was like, oh, the good old days of Facebook doing this. I love it. So I want to talk about that and how it's handled and things like that. And for new creators and things like that, how do you go into that?
Okay, so I'll talk about the copyright here in a second, but I want to address the excessive comments or people getting banned for comments that they shouldn't. Like I know one of my mods got banned for saying you're gonna get a cheesy poof to the eye, and he got a 7-day ban from that. And I'm like, oh my Lanta. So I know why it happens. So, I don't know everything about this, but I kind of discovered this through my husband as well. But pretty much what I've figured that Facebook has, right? So it's AI, it's artificial intelligence, is constantly, like I said, it's constantly combing through data.
Yep.
All right. First, it's seeing how fast somebody's commenting, right? Or it'll pick up on certain words. So it has this list of just words that they have deemed not acceptable, can't be said. If they're said, you get a little timeout. And I don't know what the words are, no idea, but there's a list of words. And if your comment has one of these words, congratulations, you're just going to get a ban. Now, what I feel like if people are commenting excessively, if they're doing it too fast, Facebook will think, okay, this is not a human. This might actually be a bot of some sort. So let's stop this for a moment and see what will happen from here. And so it will say you can't comment anymore. It's been restricted. So unfortunately, it's not like there's humans watching us and being like, oh, this came in. Oh yeah, let's double check that this is actually not a joke. Okay, yeah, this actually results in a ban. No, it's all handled by AI unless you dispute it. And then it's handed over to a human at that point.
Before you move on to the next thing, since you just brought up the dispute, I've never tried to dispute something. Can you go through that, how that works, dude? Because I'm curious. For comments and stuff. For comments or if you're receiving a ban of some sort, you can dispute it and you can say that whatever the reason is, this is my friend, this is how we joke,
this is not a threat. Or you can just be a Karen and be like, you're limiting my freedom of speech, and
that one's not gonna,
that's
not
undone.
that I was say that's not gonna get undone. If I'm the person reading that, I would laugh and be like, ban continued.
So like I've always come at it with like, you attract more flies with honey than you do vinegar. So if you just explain like, oh, this is a joke, this was not coming off as like something where I was really trying to harm them, or this is actually my friend and you can see we're joking back and forth, they're more likely to unlift it in that case, as long as it's like kicks and giggles. But if the comment has actually been reported, right? Say it was reported for bullying or spam or what have you, you'll have a lot harder of a time fighting it that way, unless it truly was like just reported by a troll. So you'll have to use discernment with your comment, see if it was something like you'll get a cheesy poof to the eye, because I don't see anything wrong with that.
Not at all.
Comment. But if somebody, for example, is like, I like shooting my gun and shooting people in the face, like, you might be talking about Call of Duty or Fortnite or Halo or Splitgate or whatever game that deals with guns, but it's like the AI picks this up and they're like, guns, shooting, violence, bad. Yep. And then trying to explain that might be a little bit harder, being like, oh, I was just talking about the game and not a real life gun and really hurting people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, that's how you would pretty much go about disputing it. But yeah, you should have like a little button that says like accept. Gotcha. And then you accept the ban, or like dispute, and you just dispute it. Now about the copyright. I actually, when I first started, I actually like retained an attorney to go over copyright law with me, because that was my biggest fear. I didn't want to break copyright law because they have the ability not only to go after a particular business, but to go after you personally.
Right.
So they could take your car, your house, your dog. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So I have received, before I was partnered, I did receive copyright strikes, and I never understood why I was getting those strikes, because I wasn't necessarily playing music that was copywritten, or I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing per the attorney I retained at that point. And so I remember the first time I got a copyright strike. The big streamer in my life at that point that was really a mentor for me was Guru AF. Okay. Complete sweetheart. I absolutely love Ruru. Anyways, I remember like texting him like, I'm freaking out, like, can you help me? I need advice. And he's like, yeah, like 1 minute. And he calls me and I'm like in tears. I'm like, I got a copyright strike. I don't know what to do. And he's like, okay, what are the actions they're telling you to do? And I was like, they just want me to delete the stream. And he's like, then just delete it. He goes, and it goes away. He's like, they have actions that you can perform so that you don't receive the strike. So you can mute that segment of it, or if it's too long or if it's too spread out, they'll have you delete the stream, or you can just sacrifice all of your ad revenue over to whoever has claimed the copyright. And so I was like, okay, that makes sense. Thanks, Ruru. Like drying up my tears, like it's not the end of the world. And just deleting the stream. It's unfortunate. It's annoying. Don't get me wrong, but it's something where we just have to be mindful. I find that if you're playing any sort of music that's like trending or mainstream, sing with it, because that will throw the sound waves off. Or if you're playing your game and you have the background music, as long as there is something kind of obstructing that copywritten sound, it won't necessarily catch it. Now, I'm not telling you to open up Apple Music and play songs the whole night. I'm just saying if there's a piece of a song that you really want to share, or you want people to kind of hear what you're listening to at that moment, open it up and like sing along with it, just in a horrible way, and you won't get a copyright strike.
My singing is horrible anyway, so yeah. If I play any songs, it's horrible. But yeah, no, that makes plenty of sense. Yeah, I was like, wasn't even thinking about it. It's like, I think we celebrated a win in Fortnite. I got a kill and I started dancing, and the song played. And I was like, after the stream, I was like, oh man, I forgot about these things with the music. Oh, I missed these. Let me mute that 10 seconds of that stream, type of thing. But yeah, no, there's a lot of action. So yeah, no, I'm saying the difference with Twitch is they actually about a year ago updated their DCMA, and all my past VODs all got copyrighted. Every single one got copyrighted. When I first started out, I didn't know the difference between DCMA and copyrighted music, and I was just playing with the boys on the Xbox, and I was like, y'all want to listen to music while we play? Yeah, let's listen to music.
Oh my God.
And I just played whatever I wanted to play. Had no idea, no care in the world. I thought it was a little badass. And then I get a message a year later saying, we changed our DCMA things, and all these like streams are bad. What do you want to do with them?
Oh my gosh.
Let's go ahead and delete them so we don't lose a page here, my Twitch.
Right.
So I was like,
I remember when that was happening. People were really
freaking out.
Like, from what I gather, yeah, it was more like a sense of panic. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like
I would panic too.
It was a big change. Like, a lot of people use, like, if I want to go back and show you my first stream, I'll be like, that bitch is gone. It is gone. So with that, so you do a lot of you offer this ability to be coached on Facebook, and to bring open the opportunity to where you go into someone's Facebook page, you kind of look at it and you look at them and do this coaching, and you have a unique way of doing it. You are you use Fan House, first of all. Is one way. Oh my God, I said the word Fan House. And let me say, I do sub to your Fan House. And,
yes, you do. And
I do. And the reason why is because you give advice on your Fan House on how to work Facebook. Now, I recently just got back into streaming on Facebook. Long story short is my Facebook got hacked when all those hacks went out about 6 months ago, and I lost everything. So I've decided to start it back up, and it's been great. Okay. I'm paying $5. Yeah. I'm paying $5 a month to dip into the knowledge of a Facebook partner that has experience doing this. Let's talk about you using this Fan House for I want to know what's so funny now. I want to laugh too.
Because I get so much flack for the fact that it's on Fan House. I have to be like, I have a Fan House, but it's just to explain Facebook gaming. I don't have any spicy pictures. There's nothing about me on there. You just read. If you like reading, this is the page for you.
I'll tell you what, but it's not the way you do it though. It is just reading, but I think it's something you should be not embarrassed about. You should be proud of, because because first of all, let me say, I'm gonna give a quick plug to Fan House. I have one also. I use one for myself. I give you my daily life on my Fan House, but so out there. But the quick plug is Fan House is so unique that it allows you to post whatever you want on there. Nothing.
Yes.
Whatever you want. You can, if you were honestly, if you were still in the art, like still doing your paintings and stuff like that, I would tell you not to be on Facebook. I'd tell you to be on Fan House right now, posting that shit and getting 100%. And it allows you to do whatever. Some people have spicy content. That shit pays out. That shit pays out 90%. I make more money. I make money off of Fan House than more than a Twitch sub. To be honest with you.
And that's so powerful too. Like, Shelby actually introduced me to to Fan House. She was posting her content, and I love that platform for her because it is absolutely perfect for her. She has a way to connect. She has a way to produce other content that fuels her fire for streaming and content creation. And so Fan House is perfect for her. And because it was so perfect for her, I was like, maybe I should try this, because I haven't heard really, like, from the creators, I should say, one bad thing about Fan House. Like, you're not fighting against an algorithm. It's simply up to you. You can promote your Fan House as much or as little as you want and bring people in to it. So yeah, no, I was like, that sounds perfect for me. I don't really feel like I would thrive on Patreon. I feel like maybe I haven't done enough research on Patreon, but I feel like they're a little outdated in their approach. Yep. Whereas Fan House, it's very streamlined, very easy. You can do it on your phone fully, or you can do it on your PC. Doesn't matter. So there's a lot of versatility to it that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I'm constantly having to say, like, it's just text.
Yes. So
I've even had to give tours of my Fan House, and I don't mind it at all. I know that there's like a negative stigma to Fan House, not as negative as OnlyFans, but still a little hesitancy about the platform. But it's like, Fan House is your oyster. You could literally create whatever you want and not be like anyone else you see on that platform. You have the ability to do something different. And so, yeah, I really enjoy Fan House. I feel like I can go out on Fan House and just say whatever I want. If I want to curse in the post, I can do that.
Right.
Like, it's liberating in the sense.
Yeah, it's so the reason why I bring that up as a coaching technique, literally, not only can I use what you say is a base for Facebook. Yes, it is geared towards Facebook. My home is Twitch, and I'm gathering back and getting back into Facebook. But for me, being able to read that content, and it also helps me with Twitch, and it really does, because it is all about scheduling and this and that and doing this and that, and the way you coach and you using it in your knowledge. And I'm telling you, $5 a month just to pick your brain is crazy. It's crazy. It's like this is something you could charge $20 a month for, subscription wise.
Oh, sweet.
And
that's so sweet of you.
Don't raise your price, please. I'm just kidding. But yeah. But with that being said, it's that, and so, but there is also other ways can you talk a little bit on your coaching and how it works and how you do things and how you goes into, because I do want to, because you do have a wealth of knowledge, and you, unlike other people in the industry, not everybody wants to give this knowledge out. Not everybody wants to help everybody. Yeah. And yes, you're asking for a small fee for help, but you have that ability to. Why freaking not? You know?
Right.
Why not?
Right.
And so let's get into that coaching.
Okay. So I agree with what you said. A lot of people don't want this information to get out. Thanks, guys, for all the love. I appreciate you. A lot of people don't want this information to get out. And I've found, because along like the coaching, I kind of like probe people's brains. And the one thing that I feel like is a consistent thread with some mindsets is, and this can be changed easily. This mindset can be changed. And that's my goal, is to change the mindset of streaming on not just Facebook gaming, but anywhere, and really owning the fact that you have control over your own stuff. And it doesn't matter about these outside factors that you think are to be true. And so one thing that I found a lot of people thought was like, you're constantly competing. And I don't believe that at all. I believe that Facebook gaming is a platform where you can grow, and you can grow with other creators, and you can have cross-pollinated communities, and it's not a competition. People can enjoy multiple creators on this platform and have cross-pollinated communities and not step on each other's toes. Have a person that's a part of 2 different, 3 different, 10 different community families. and that's what I'm like trying to explain to people is, you know, yeah, they might enjoy other content creators and that's fine, but you have to know that one, that's not your competition. What you're trying to do is compete with yourself, trying to constantly put out the next best stream. Find what, you know, is something that is a staple in yourself, in your community, and kind of implement this, make it a stronger community in this sense by connecting not just you to the follower, to the consumer of your content, but being able to connect and then connect everyone around and actually building this community. And this is how this does not become competition, because people will come back on their own accord, whether somebody else is streaming or not, even if they just pop in for a moment. That is monumental. So yeah, I don't feel like it's a competition, but a lot of people think it is. So it's changing these mindsets and then going in and explaining. Like I said, I've done a lot of research with my own page in regards to like the algorithm. And I did this research for a year, and then I gave this information away for free for months to my friends, to people who needed help. And I would watch their pages turn around, or if something wasn't working, I would come back in and work back with them and figure out something that would work for them. And they would turn their page around. And so it's being able to have this knowledge of the algorithm, not the knowledge, but the understanding of it. I've been on Facebook since 2008. Obviously, the algorithm from 2008 is different from the algorithm now in 2020. And even the algorithm for 2020 is different than the algorithm in 2021. But this algorithm has a foundation. And once you understand the concept of this foundation, you can look for the patterns, even if it's ever changing, and constantly understand this platform in a different way, as long as you build on this foundation. And so it's being able to take this understanding of the algorithm, look at somebody's stats, and be able to say, okay, this is where your disconnect lies. This is something that could help this disconnect. I want you to plug this in and see if we can get this more aligned with your algorithmic pattern. And so it's taking things that everybody understands there's an algorithm. Not everybody understands how to hit it. And I'm not talking about hitting it big. I'm talking about simply hitting it every night to grow consistently at an upward pace and never fall. That is my goal to help people do. I don't want you to shoot up to 2,000 concurrents in a week. I want you to slowly grow this. So, and you understand what's going on after I teach you, so that you will never fall. You have the power to be consistently upwards. So that's my goal, and that's how I do it. I just take my understanding, take the stats, see what the stats tell me, see what they need in their algorithmic pattern, mesh them together.
I'll be honest with you, I never knew any of that shit. So I'm about to say I'm gonna need to send like a $5 tip or something to her. Holy, like seriously, like I've never given it that much thought, like into you just took an onion, you just peeled a layer off, and you kind of just opened up my mind to like Facebook, to where, think about it. Yes, I know there's an algo. Yes, I know there's certain things that hit algo, and things like that. But you just kind of peeled a layer back just in that short 3-minute conversation we just had about coaching and what you want to achieve and how you achieve it is mind-blowing to me right there, to be honest with you. That to me is wild. Yes, a lot of people may know that. I don't think a lot of people do know that. I don't think they know the how. You have the means of the how and how to,
yes,
but people don't know that means of the how. And you're willing to give it out in a coaching session. That's absolutely fucking amazing. And
so what if I told you that there were different levels of algorithm as well?
I just thought there was I just know there's an algorithm. I hit it a couple times. I thought I was cool. And then I don't know where happened to the algorithm.
Yeah, so there is different levels of algorithm. Okay, so I don't know what the technical terms of these are, but now that I say this, you're going to start noticing this and you're going to start recognizing it. So this is what I would call like the beginners algo, and that's not because like you first started on Facebook. It's simply like the entry level into the algo, and this is where like you're consistently holding a certain number of people, whatever this is for you, and you're constantly building upon it. So like maybe you start off with 20 people and then you start holding 30 and then you start holding 40, 50, 60, 70, then you're at 100, 200. So like this is where that starts, at that beginner's algo. Now what you do within this algo will kind of determine how far you're pushed along through beginners into like intermediate, what I would call it. If you remain consistent, if you do everything correctly, you'll eventually be pushed to intermediate. And this is where you're not having nights where you get to a peak of 200 followers and you end with like 50. This is where you peak with like 1,000 followers and or 1,000 viewers, I should say. And you end off with 300. These are where you're going to be, constantly pushed upwards, right? And it's that growth cycle throughout that. And again, if you remain consistent in this and you do everything that you're supposed to do, you'll get to the advanced. And these are the people who are consistently holding thousands and thousands and thousands of concurrents and still ending on that same thousands and thousands of concurrents. So it's a process. It's a growth process, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a grind. That can be whatever you want it to be, but also keep in mind that the more you put into something, the more you're going to get out. 100%. So yeah, that's basically it. In my mind, I have it divided into those three categories. And from what my data has shown me, that has shown to be true. So yeah,
that's crazy. Like, I never knew that either. Like, I've learned so much in the last 10 minutes that it's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. It's that when people think about streaming, they think about just hitting that go live button, and it's more than that. If you want to be successful in something, you have to study it. You don't become a doctor overnight. You just don't watch one YouTube video and say, hey, I'm gonna go knock out that damn knee surgery, let's pay me $100K, right? To knock out that knee surgery real quick. You've taken 100% to study the algo, to study how Facebook works and the ins and the outs. Like for me, I just knew I went live on Facebook and people came and hang out with me. That's cool. What's up? How y'all doing? Oh, y'all want to be part of my community? Cool. Welcome on in. Let me give you some love. Here's a hug. There's a kiss. Thank you for hanging out, type of thing. Now there's more of a science behind it, and there's more of a science on how to grow. And to me, that's the money maker right there. Yes. In the end, for me, this is a hobby. If I get paid a little bit of money to do my hobby, why not? It's kind of cool it's kind of cool to look at my friends and say, hey, you played video games today? Yeah. How much money did you make, fucker? Not enough. You got $0. I got $1 at least. So that type of thing. My mind is just. You just blew my mind with this last. How much do I owe? How much do I owe you for this conversation?
Oh my gosh, absolutely nothing new.
Oh my goodness.
Just your charm.
Baby, I got a lot of that. But so one of the things that make you super unique, I'm gonna put you on the spot because I know you hate this. There is a thing out there that you sing, and you sing the Shit Rock Crew song. I think that's what it's called. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong, but I might be right. But I think we would love to hear it, to put you on the spot. Look at that face. She's hating me right now. So we would love to hear it. Just pretend, the sub went off in your head.
All right, here, hold on. We gotta get the piano.
What? I didn't know there was a piano for it.
There's a piano.
This is awesome.
Yeah, there's a piano. This is my daughter was 2 years old when she got this. I asked if I could have her piano, and she said I could. So it has lived in this office since last year. All right, here we go. Let's see if you can hear the piano too. Okay.
We hear it.
Thanks, man, for joining the shit rocket. Your favorite ham. Welcome to the shit rock team, because you are the shit and we let you rock out with you. And that's how I sing the Shit Rock Crew song. I know I deserve my own album. You don't gotta tell me twice. We're working on it on TikTok. Drop for that what is that? Sign up for that pre-release.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Album be out 2023.
Yeah, 2020 never.
Somebody just said, me as a pianist don't know what to think about. What's that about smashing piano keys? So I know you're doing supporter games tonight. So anybody that's on YouTube that's watching this the next day, Mickey is live on her stream. I know she's about to do supporter games soon. I would like to take a couple minutes, if it's okay with you, to open up to questions. I know your chat might have some questions. I don't have your chat up. I have mine up. If they have any questions, if they would like to ask you anything about you personally or anything about Facebook, and you're willing to answer it, I'm gonna open up the floor. Maybe take a couple minutes.
I'm so down. And even my chat. If you have
correct. Mickey's chat. If you guys have any questions, please ask her. She'll read it. So if you guys have anything, please ask. So
Neil, let me ask you.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me ask you while we're waiting for these questions. What inspired you to start this podcast, if I should say? Like, what was the moment? Where was the moment when you were like, this is something that I think I would enjoy and I'm gonna probe it?
So one of my biggest supporters that recently come in, a lot of people know him as Boomer B. So he used to run his own Facebook show on Facebook. His name is escaping me, but Boomer has come in. He's one of my mods. He supports me. And he goes, you know what, Neo? You could host a fucking show. I go, what do you mean I could host a show? We're sitting here playing video games one night. It's just him. It's literally just, I think it was just me and him talking in chat, and he was talking to me, and I was like, you could host a show. And I go, he goes, yeah, kind of like, oh my God, and now I'm really mad that show's like escaping my name. Like, he used to do a show that showed off streamers. They would do montages. So it was him, Willie, Will, and Shelby. The Mainstream. Thank you. It was called The Mainstream. And they would show off, now my other mods are getting pissy in my chat. Thanks, guys, because they said biggest supporter. But The Mainstream, and they used to get streamers together and put up montages and show them off. And people would come in every Sunday night and watch the show and support them and things like that. So that kind of his idea. He goes, you know what, Neo, you could do a show and you could just talk about whatever you want. And and I was like, you know what? Shoot, let's give it a try. And I turned and I looked and I was like, who can I ask to be on my show? What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about gaming and streaming. I wanted a podcast all about gaming and streaming. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and ask some people and see if I can get some people to come in. And my first couple was a Jersey 80 kid. She's an amazing competitive player on Twitch. She needs to get some more love in tournaments. Someone needs to scoop her up. She's nasty. And then I had a charity streamer, Jacqueline Cruel, for my first one, and it went amazing. It was so much fun. This is officially the 12th episode, and with it being Neo Prime 12, it has some extra meeting. And then And not only has this had some ups and downs, it's not been easy, but it's been trying to get people to commit to trying to do this and trying to just talk to me, which in my mind, it blows my mind that I just can't get people to answer me in the streaming world and trying to connect and things like that. And it just really blows my mind how somebody just can't say no if they don't want to be on a show or they don't want to talk at all.
Right. And I've racked my brain for that answer as well. Like why people, because like I've asked people for co-streams and stuff and they just simply don't reply, or they're like, yeah, let's get games in. And then when I'm like, okay, what day? It's just crickets. And you almost think like, oh, it's a fault with me. Like there must be something about me that they don't want to commit to. But I find that sometimes like what we're asking of people is just outside of their comfort zone, and they just feel like they either don't want to be, or they can't be vulnerable enough to be like, I'm not comfortable with that. And that would make me nervous. Me, I ride that shit out. I will tell you, I was scared as fuck to start this podcast.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. And when you asked me at first, I was like, I'm probably going to make a fool of myself, but that's my life. So let's go with it, you know? So.
And I appreciated your answer. I was never sending you the message. I was like, I think it was Sunday night or something. It was a Sunday night. I was like, I think it was a ladies' night, and I think I messaged you Monday morning while I was at work. I do almost all my gaming stuff at work. Shh, don't tell me. But and I messaged you, and I was like, I just messaged MikkyJay to ask her to be on my podcast. Oh, I hope she doesn't say no. And I was like, and then I seen it, and she's like, yeah, I would love to. I was like, oh my god, that's the kind of a relief. And it's kind of like just putting yourself out there. You feel like you put yourself out there, and nobody wants to like answer back. Like, what's the purpose of having a business email if you're not going to answer your business email? It pisses me off. I
never answer my business email.
And what's the purpose of having a business email?
I'll read it, but if it's not something that I'm like, okay, I can get down with this, I don't reply. Or if it's like an offer that I'm just like, no, like affiliate, being an affiliate somewhere, I'm just like, I don't agree. I have rates. Thank you so much, but I respectfully decline.
I don't know. Maybe this might be my approach. Maybe I need to sit down and learn how to approach sending out a message or something like that to people, because some people,
I don't think it's you. I really don't think it's you. Some people just don't like to be probed. And it's not because you're like aggressive. I've thoroughly enjoyed this experience. It's been phenomenal. But I think what people are afraid of is if they're being vulnerable, they're doing something that they're not comfortable with, and then they get a sense of like rejection. Maybe they don't get as many views on the stream because they're doing the podcast, or maybe because they get like some bad comments. It's rejection of some sort because they're doing something different. So I would say don't take that as like that's a problem with you. Just kind of accept it as like, oh, this might not be something that they're comfortable with, and I can't really change that. That way it takes the blame off you, and because it's really not your fault anyways.
That's true. It's just like, I'll tell you what, episode 4 or 5 I think I did by myself on it. I was like, this is boring. This is terrible. Like, if I was like trying to talk to yourself on a camera doing a podcast and talk about something, it's hard. It's absolutely hard. I don't recommend it. So the people that do radio, much power to you, because I tried to do it for 2 episodes, episode 4 and 5. I kind of just want to delete off the podcast, but because I tried to talk about 2 different subjects and it was hard. It wasn't easy. And then that's when I started losing faith, and then some people started answering back, so it's come back. And I think I honestly, I am just so happy to make it to episode 12. That it is amazing. This podcast is, to me, like I tell everybody, I get super nervous right before we start. I don't get nervous when I go live to hit them. Shit, half the time I'm like, hey, let me go live real quick, play this game, do my thing. But doing this podcast is just open up a lot of opportunities to connect with different people, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And when the person also enjoys it with me, it just makes it such a better time. And I've had every single person that's been on the show has been amazing. So it's been so good. I haven't seen any questions, but what I want to do is I want to bring this to a close so you can get into supporter games. I'm going to give you the floor. You asked me a question. If do you have any more questions for me? And if you don't, I'm going to give you the floor. This will be Mickey's time to say whatever Mickey wants to say, and then we can close it out. If you have words that are wise, or if you just want to be like, "Peace out, motherfucker," or something like that, whatever you want to do, I'm giving you the floor. You could talk for the next 2 hours if you really wanted to. I would let you.
Okay. All right. So, geez. I'm just gonna try to say this in a way that I would say this to like my past me before I started like content creation and streaming and all this fun stuff. So the first thing that I would say is that not everybody's gonna like you, and that's okay. You don't want everyone to like you. In fact, when you are ruffling feathers for all the right reasons, people will respect you more, especially if you stay consistent with that. Secondly, quit comparing yourself to other people. It's not going to get you anywhere but unsatisfied. Focus on yourself, your content. Try to not only grow within yourself, but also try to hone your craft and try to approach it from angles that have not been discovered before. Don't be afraid to experiment. Like, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid that if you fall down, you're not going to be able to get back up. Have faith in yourself. Don't kill yourself for this because you don't have to. And lastly, always remain empathetic and try to consider other people and their perspective as well as your own, and remain unbiased in that, if that makes sense.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense to anybody else, but that would be how to start off with Streaming 101 Mindset Edition.
That is, she just gave out life advice basically for any job in the world. So that is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being on this podcast. It was
no, thank you for
hold
having
on
me.
1 second. Never mind, I'm not asking that question.
No, ask it. Is it bad?
No, it's Mickey. I'm a man. I'm not supposed to ask you this question. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 27. I don't
She's
care.
27, bruh. Jesus. Why is my mod that I personally know in like real life ask the craziest things to me? Like I think
oh my
my other
god.
mod wanted to ask another creator that I had on here, do you wear underwear when you stream? Like, what do you want me to ask that creator that question? Like, bruh, like I'm a man, haven't asked, like I do have a lot, I have men and female on here, but when I get another female on here, all my mods are mostly female, and they're like, can you ask these questions to these people, please? Like, why?
That is so funny.
I barely know.
I don't care about that. Questions like that. Shit, I'm like an open book, honestly. That's why I'm like, no questions, hold bar. Like anything flies. As long as it's not like.
Yeah. I don't, trust me. I know what you understand. I just didn't want to get punched in the throat. Man, Neo asked me how old I was. Shit, I get in trouble for throwing people under the bus sometimes with their age. Just saying.
Oh no, 27 and still dumb as fuck.
Now that she said she looks young. That's why you got a compliment for looking young. For looking young.
Thanks.
So, but yeah. Now they're just asking. Let me send these people off somewhere so you can get into your game. But let me say from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you so much for spending the night with me and talking about Facebook gaming and talking about your journey. And I surely hope you have the best games tonight, but also continuing going forward, have an amazing time with however long you decide to stay streaming or creating content. Where can they find you? When can they find you? And are there any hashtag links you want to drop out there?
Oh, okay. So they can find me on fb.gg/MikkyJay Gaming, MikkyJayy Gaming. Same at Twitter at MikkyJay, and then fanhouse.app/MikkyJay if you'd like to sign up for Fanhouse as well.
That's if you guys want any information, you guys will find it on the YouTube channel. Mickey, again, so much big love. I appreciate you.
Big love. Oh, we gotta be G's. We gotta be G's.
But I'm not a G.
Back to when we were 12.
My fingers don't work this way.
No, you gotta. Okay, hooks with your fingers.
Hooks, okay.
Hooks.
Yeah, I got the hooks.
Straight.
Yo, I'm not.
Okay.
I can't keep going. I can't.
And then middle fingers. Hooks, and then middle fingers. Yeah.
My fingers don't work.
Yeah, you're getting.
My fingers don't work this way. Neo was praying. He can't do it either. Just stop making. You can make people to make fun of me. I just do the Taylor Swift, okay? I'm T Swift style. She loves me. Taylor Swift loves me. One day. I ain't laughing right now. All right, guys. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out this episode. Guys, this was with MikkyJay. You guys did absolutely amazing. She did absolutely an amazing job. I want to say thank you, Mickey, once again. This is episode 12. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you guys hit that like, ring the bell, and go ahead and place a comment as it helps out, guys. And also make sure you guys are here for next week. I'd greatly appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I want to say thank you so much. We'll see you next time.